In the early years of the United States, settlers and later immigrants arrived in search of freedom, opportunity, and a better life. Millions came to our land with wide eyes and empty stomachs. Their goal? To learn, to work, and to assimilate into our national culture. They came to become American, and their contributions have been woven into the fabric of our national identity. We all have neighbors, friends, family. Maybe even you immigrated here. Immigration has brought real benefits, like economic growth, as it helped shape our country into what it is today. But at this point in time, we face a new reality. One that demands a reassessment of our immigration policies to ensure the nation's long-term stability. And the conclusion of this reassessment? A total immigration moratorium. The reality is that we have reached a point in time where drastic measures are necessary so that the United States of America can fully support its existing citizens. You want the facts? The social safety net simply cannot sustain the current pace of immigration, both legal and illegal, without jeopardizing essential services and economic stability. Let's look at some issues with immigration, and you tell me if it has a net positive benefit on the country. First, let's look at job competition. It's long been said that immigrants steal, quote, low-skill jobs. And while I've already assessed how ridiculous this claim is, often I've disputed it by citing that native-born citizens work a variety of jobs considered, quote, low skill. The fact is that immigrants do take many jobs in agriculture and social services. But nowadays, they also fill tech jobs and white-collar jobs. There is no job an American won't do. No job's too dirty, too difficult for the American workforce. But it's also true that Americans will not work for slave wages. And often, talented, educated, and specialized jobs are given away to legal immigrants from third world countries simply because they can receive a cheaper salary. Look at tech jobs at Amazon. Hundreds of thousands of jobs were filled by H-1B visas from Asian countries. These are jobs that Americans need. College-educated Americans with debt, families, and people they need to support. This is fundamentally anti-American. And why do companies do this? Because these workers will simply do the job for cheaper pay. Next, let's look at strain on the welfare system. When immigrants use public benefits like healthcare, education, or housing, this increases taxpayer burdens. This leaves less money for citizens who need it. Although it sounds obvious, let's look at the pushback the left wing gives you on this issue. They believe that if an individual somehow wanders onto our soil, they are now allowed to reap the full benefits of our welfare system at the expense of hardworking citizens. Another problem is remittances. Many immigrants send money back to their home countries. This practice diverts billions of dollars from the U.S. economy annually, reducing domestic economic circulation and investment. Most importantly, let's look at public safety. It's no secret that large-scale immigration is already overwhelming border enforcement. This contributes to drug trafficking, human smuggling, and various other crimes. And since we may not be aware of the past of many of these immigrants, our weak vetting could allow individuals with dangerous motives to enter the country. Look at the terror attack in D.C. last year, or the ISIS-inspired bomb plot in New York City last summer. There are legal immigrants, or the children of legal immigrants, who come to this country to spread violence and chaos. And since we cannot properly vet everyone who enters, and until the time we can, our border should remain closed. And just one more thing. Illegal immigration specifically undermines the rule of law. Lady Liberty turns a blind eye to people committing a crime by illegally entering the United States. Sanctuary cities harbor illegal fugitives while paying for their food, housing, electronics, healthcare, childcare, and more. And for these reasons, all immigration, legal and illegal, should be halted indefinitely. A total moratorium is the only path forward. See, this pause is not meant to erase our immigrant heritage, but to protect the nation's ability to provide for its own people. There is a reasonable path forward to enact this change, and it has to do with repealing the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1952. If repealed outright, the United States would have no immigration system, no visas, no green cards, no asylum, and no naturalization. And when I say no immigration, I mean no immigration. The outdated practice of automatic birthright citizenship, which, keep in mind, is a uniquely American problem, must be repealed through amending the birthright citizenship clause in the 14th Amendment. Birthright citizenship was justified in serving its purpose to naturalize slaves after the Civil War. However, it now serves as a nuisance and a loophole to our current immigration system. Citizenship at birth would instead be granted only if at least one parent is a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident. This reform would remove a major incentive for illegal immigration and align U.S. law with that of many other developed nations. As for deportations and the role of ICE, all illegal citizens should be given a 6-month grace period to identify themselves and volunteer for self-deportation. Pack your bags, sell your belongings, and make arrangements to live elsewhere. Those who comply may keep their assets. Those who do not will face forcible deportation, asset forfeiture, and return to their country of origin. At the same time, border and interior enforcement must be strengthened to prevent any erosion of this moratorium. The United States should withdraw from the 1967 Refugee Protocol, address obligations under the Convention Against Torture that requires certain entries, and eliminate programs such as humanitarian parole, diplomatic immunity, temporary protected status, and any other discretionary pathways that allow entry outside the standard legal framework. The United States will always value the contributions of those who came here to build a better life. But for the time being, our focus must be on ensuring that our population is sustainable, our economy is secure, and every citizen can adequately be served by the government. Thank you guys for watching another one of my videos. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I respond to every comment and read every single one. Obviously, in this video, I talk a lot about immigration and how it hurts us, but I didn't even touch on some other things like demographic replacement. So be sure to let me know what you think down below. And once again, thanks for watching.